They came and picked me up, took me to Mataka Handam Small Signal, where we were 13 of us in one room.
Okay.
So
Was it bunk beds or single beds or
we had only
floor
one single
you
bed.
Find 13
Everybody
without the bunk
was
bed.
there was no bunk bed. Everybody was on the floor. Only one bed, single bed.
And it was the landlord because
It was the room landlord. The room lord. Don't let it out. It's a secret. Let people know that I was deported.
Yes.
But know that my visa is coming and I've given fax machine number to your office so that they will fax my visa to
Directly,
you.
yeah.
And it will be coming in about 6 to 8 weeks. That's how I organized myself. But I was still lacking flight ticket money because if you don't have a resident visa, you cannot pay return ticket from UAE. You can only pay 1 way.
Yes.
Yeah, so I paid but 1 way. So on coming back, I could not I didn't have enough money. So my wife's uncle lent me 180,000 to complete my ticket. So that's how I came back and went to that school. Taught there for just 1 year. They said, oh, we acquired another school, you are moving to 8. They said it in the morning, and in the evening they call me and say, no, we terminated you.
Oh my God.
That was in 2008. With a credit crunch, I was like, what do I do? They told me they didn't cancel my residence visa.
That was nice of them.
Yes. So that visa was only cancelled in January 2009 at my own discretion. No, it was in December 2008 because before I canceled, RAG government gave me a residence visa. Mr. Albert, you'll be our substitute teacher in this school, but you need to we don't want to work with people with visa from another place. We want to give you our own visa. So that's how they say go and cancel, we'll do. So Israel worked hard to make sure I have the Rasakama government visa. I worked with that one for 2 years. Okay. With that same RAG visa, came to Sharjah, was lodged in the hotel. The school in Sharjah was really good.
Wow.
Yes, I stayed in the hotel for 2 months.
Wow.
4-star hotel, breakfast every morning, free transport to work and back. Yes, I had a whole room to myself with 2 beds. If a visitor comes, we don't share, get your own bed. Yeah. So in the morning, if I'm my guest, I take you with me to breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was quite good there. I was there for 2 years, then left. No visa change, okay?
Yeah.
I then left that school. I left that school not because I like it, it's because there was a gang up, as usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a gang up of some people who thought I was doing too much. But the honor son who used to be my protectorate, I've already taught him in grade 12, he has graduated. I didn't have anybody on my side now. I had only one Moroccan sister who was our head. She was like, no, this is the best teacher in the science department. So when you take him out, who else we get here? So that way, while there, I did my NIMBOSH. I did NIMBOSH, occupational health and safety. So I was thinking, okay, this is time now for me to move. That was in 2012. So it did not work. In 2010, it did not work. I did the NIMBOSH, but I didn't find opportunity.
The amazing thing about your story is the way you're just calling the years.
No, summer of 2012. That was when I really find it really hard because I didn't get a job when they sacked me from this school in Sharjah. But my apartment was maintained. Everything was maintained. Yeah, so I was looking for a job. I didn't get. However, by August, I moved from, because I had my own residence visa, right?
Yeah.
So I went to 3 schools. Yes, the last school I worked, the very first school, I worked there for 3 days. Another school called me. They said, this school, the first school said they will be giving you 5,000 dirham. I said, no, you can't. I can't drop from 8 to 5.
Yeah.
That's too massive. And then I was having that 8 with free transport to school.
And free accommodation.
And free accommodation for the first 2 months. At least when they took away the accommodation, they gave me transport. So, how? So that's all we can pay, Mr. Albert. By then, I already have my diploma in teaching English as a foreign language from Canada. I did it online. It was a 6-month program. So I was like, okay, that was one acted as my selling point. The Nimbosh,
Waste of
they
money.
were asked, it's like waste of money, waste of time. So each time I look for a job, they will ask me for experience. Say, if I don't work, how do I get experience? I have experience in the school. I have experience in school labs. They said, no, not that kind of experience. So I said, okay, keep that one aside. Let me continue. I moved on. While I was doing that, I was also doing my correspondence courses in UK, in logistics, in inventory management.
Procurement.
And also, yes, and also I did one course in procurement. I was in between going for procurement, logistics, supply chain, or I stay in the teaching. But jobs in that field were not coming up. So
You had to continue teaching.
I continued with the teaching. And then when I moved in these 3 schools, one school 5,000, another one says 6,000, okay, I dropped this one in there. And then I taught there for those 2 weeks, and the next school called me up for a 10,000 dirham salary.
Mashallah.
Okay, I worked there for just 2 months. It terminated after my appraisal.
So like all in all, right?
Yeah.
How many terminations have you gone through in the UAE?
Yeah, I got a termination in this school in Alain, and then a termination in this one school in Sharjah, the one that lodged me in the hotel, and then I got a termination in this last one.
Okay.
Yes, in this last one where I worked there for 2 months, which I started in the middle of September 2012. And then on the 25th of October 2012, I was terminated.
Okay.
But I was paid my salary till October 31st.
Wow.
So as they terminated me on the 25th, around the 27th, 28th of October, I received a letter from my present job that I have been granted employment
Okay.
in Abu Dhabi, but they did not specify where, because I applied and put many campuses.
Yeah.
They asked me to accept the offer and come up and sign. So I have to go there, but when I went, it wasn't like that. I have to, you know what, go and get police clearance. Where did you first get your employment letter? Alain. So I have to go to Alain CID department and get the document and get the police clearance from there. So in mail like that, I only went to actually effectively start work around 16th of November. Yeah, so that's when I went to, we signed everything, they gave me the things and say, oh, you are appointed to go to Fujairah.
Right.
So I look at my time, this is 12:30, you want me to go to Fujairah? I've never been there. Okay, how many hours from Abu Dhabi to Fujairah? They say it's about 3 hours. What time do school close? At 2:30. This is 12:30. How on earth can I meet my principal on seat to sign this? So it was a Wednesday. We used to work just up to Thursday.
Yeah.
So,
Sundays to Thursdays.
Yeah, so I said, they said, why not go there on Thursday tomorrow? I said, no, let me relax. I'll go and start work on Sunday. I'll start work on Sunday. So I drove back to Sharjah, and on Thursday I relaxed. On Friday I went to Fujairah with my friend to look for accommodation. I didn't find, came back, I relaxed. Sunday I went there and showed the letter he signed sent there. I just have to stay there and work. So I was driving from Sharjah to Fujairah from November till the beginning of January 2013. Yeah, so that's how it has been.
Wow.
I've been in that job. While in that job, I did a lot of things. I was able to attend the University of Wollongong.
Yeah.
And did an MBA there.
Yeah.
That is where my British qualifications, they helped me in getting that admission and also to scale through it, that I didn't have much difficulty.
How much did you pay as tuition in the University of Wollongong?
We were paying 8,000
per course?
Per course.
Times 12 courses
Times 12
for
courses
MBA.
I took for the MBA.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
More
that
than
was just
70,000.
90-something thousand.
96,000.
times
But I
six.
took 6 foundation courses as well.
And they pay it separately.
It's different.
But why did you do a foundation course?
Because I'm not a management graduate. My degree is chemistry and chemical process technology.
Okay, so you
I'm a
had to do.
scientist, so I have to do undergraduate foundation courses.
Because sometimes you do foundation courses if your entry mark is below, or maybe where your home country where you have your degree is not up to, they'll just it's not up to it. So they'll just ask you. So since you've explained, okay, let's continue.
Yeah, so I believe it was because I didn't have a management background, so the foundation courses were like preparing me to take that high level of management studies, since I didn't have management background.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and while there, in 2014, I enrolled and took my MBA from the University of Wollongong up to graduated in 2017, March 2017, but the graduation actually took place in May 2017. I've been able to sponsor my kids in school, but I've not done anything yet with the MBA, but I think now I'm seeing greater opportunities because I wasn't doing it for only immediate use.
Yeah. So this company, this present company you're working at right now, so how many years have you been there?
I've been there since November 16, 2012 till now.
More than 10 years.
Yeah, it's a government company. It's a government Abu Dhabi.
That's great.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm leaving them this year.
Oh, they'll definitely miss you. To see someone that is dedicated to work for that long in this country is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard because people here are just like, they are gold diggers, right? They're coming here just to dig the gold and leave.
Yeah, yeah.
So to see someone that is dedicated, it's very, very hard. So how would you, what do you say at the end? It wasn't very tough, but it was it, and you've made it. Is that it?
Yeah, it was, to me, what matters much is your attitude and your goal. It doesn't mean that it has been that easy for me. All is, I promised myself that one of the major reasons I was going out of my country was to improve myself. I come back home with something different from what I took from home.
Yeah.
And that's the gospel I've been preaching. And many people who have come close to me, they have learned it. And I bet you some are here in the UAE, they have taken 1 or 2 courses, their lives have changed.
Okay.
Yes, their lives have changed as a result of them yielding to my advice.
Okay.
Some I even recommended courses for them, they took, and it changed their life completely.
Okay.
Yes. So that is why I took the NIMBOSH, I took English, I took management, took logistics, supply chain,
procurement.
So all of that. And actually, I think my qualification in inventory management and stock control is one of the things that and thing with the NIMBOSH. These two helped me in getting the job which I've been doing for the past 10 years.
Wow.
So I use that job now as a ladder now to do the master's degree program, which I had been longing for. Remember I said I got admission to study in Germany, I got admission to study in UK, I got admission to study in America, but none of this worked because we can't afford it.
Yeah.
So I was coming to Dubai to work. During this time, when people telling me leave, Yes, people were like, oh, the UAE is a transient country. We just come here, look for our ways, and we go. I said, well, I've come to stay.
No,
I've come to stay. So if there is anything, God did not bring me here
for be a passerby.
To be a passerby. There must be something here. I did not plan coming here, but nature brought me here. So I believe something is here for me. And I thank God I'm getting it.
Okay, perfect.
Thank God I got it.
Wow, so your story, Manka and Mr. Albert, it's really very mind-blowing, especially that of Manka. She went begging on the streets, so it's about time for me to take the lead, okay? But for me, I'll just give you a synopsis because mine is a very long story. Like, if I have to give you everything that is in it, it's going to take hours on hours without stop, okay? So I came here through a classmate who made my visa, and he explained to me everything that Dubai is. But from the accommodation to the weather to the feeding, like he gave me every information that was valid. So besides that, I'm someone that likes to do my research. Before venturing into anything, I just like to do my research so I would know where to place my feet when I get there. So definitely I had to make my own research. I made my own research and I paid for the visa. The visa came and bam, I entered Dubai. And it was not that bad because where I was staying, I was the only in that where I was staying, I was the only lady in that room.
Wow, that's better, man.
I was the only lady in the room. And I had some issues because I grew up with girls. So to maneuver among guys was a very big issue with me. But
to take your bath.
No.
Change your dresses.
To change my dresses,
There are guys.
It's a big challenge. Yeah, it's a big challenge. I never grew up with guys. I grew up with just ladies.
Wow,
so
massive change there.
Yeah, it was a massive change. But the bed space thing was not new to me because I was dormitory inclined. Like I've been to dormitory school, so I was and I was a size 4 at that time. So I would just keep up. I love my up bed, even because when I was in dormitory school, I prefer up bed so that the ghost cannot touch me. But down bed, the ghost can touch you actually. Oh my God, seriously. So definitely, I would prefer be my up bed, and I was asleep. So I would just keep pap and I'm up, pap, I'm down. So there was not very big stress for me using the up or down the bunk beds. When I came in and I met those guys, they received me as a sister. That was one magical thing. Like, it was no hassle at all because they were so receiving and so nice to me. So sometimes I will cook, and sometimes when I cook, I will just call some people and give them food, because sometimes some people can cook and there are other people and they'll just eat in front of people without even caring like that this person is eating. Yeah, but I'm not that type. Yeah, seriously. But I'm not that type of a person. You get me? Like, if I'm eating and someone is there and I know this person cannot really afford, there's definitely no way that I will eat without giving the next person. Definitely no way. So I'll cook food and I'll give them. And there was this time, because I don't want to say I'm a very good cook actually, but I used to cook really well.
So she's a good cook. She's a good cook. I'm a good cook. She's a good cook as well.
Yeah. So So when I
arrange a culinary service.
Yeah, so when I got there, so when I started cooking, and this guy just came to me, international man. That's how we used to call him, Yannick. He's back in Cameroon actually. So that's what we used to call him. So he came to me and he was like, you know, you can start cooking to sell. I was like, really? And before that arrow, the arrow came like in Psalms 91, the arrow that flies by night. I said, before you want to enter me, let me hold it and do my inquiries. So I had to do my inquiries. I asked the guy who owns the bed space. I was like, can I be cooking or making chin-chin? So he explained to me reasons why I cannot do it. And I thank him for that, because I would have been an official MAMI PUT somehow. And before that spirit wants to leave you, it's very difficult. Before that spirit spirit of Mami Put wants to leave you. Because when people have come here, right, and they've embraced the cooking, it's a side hustle, but don't take it to unmask yourself.
Don't allow the side hustle to stop you from like pursuing your goal.
Yes. I would have been an official Mami Put, but later that guy advised me. I was like, see. And then I kept to like.
What specifically did he tell you?
He just told me like, you know, you can be cooking to sell while you're doing your hustling to get a job. And before he entered me, like the hour that flies by night is at 91. He would have entered me and I would be an official Mami Put.
The one who advised you not to do it. What specifically did he tell you?
No, he just told me that. Because I was like, I just went to him. I did not even tell him like that is what I want to cook. I was like, can I make chin chin? Because when I was in the university days, right, I was doing chin chin and keeping in shops. So I was like, can I make chin chin and keep in shops here? He just told me no, because most times like the Dubai municipality really have a check for quality, especially with things that people eat. So definitely they'll have to. You have to have a sticker, you have to have approvals or something like that. So he gave me before I start supplying. So he gave me like everything I needed to know. So and I was just like, I will not be able to do this one. And that's how the idea dissolved from my mind. Because if he did not advise me like that, maybe I would have been in Abuhe right now and cooking to sell and supplying to people.
Laboring, thinking that you're making money.
That spirit. I've seen people that I know their capacity, but they have remained cooking. I'm not trying to.
That's true.
I'm not trying to bash people. You understand? But I know some people's capacity, and I know you can do way better than what you're doing. But they have just embraced Mami Put.
Like the braiding of hair and the teaching. The French I was teaching was giving me money. But it never stopped me from pursuing my goal. Sometimes it might stop you. If you like money, if you're contented with what you have at it, it's good to be contented. But let it not stop you
from reaching your goals.
So I think all of us, we have similar things. Then we have a goal and we are all pursuing it. Yours was to become a real estate agent.
For life.
Yes, and you maneuver, you got. Mine was for studies. Yours was to get a steady job in specific domain. Despite all the side things you did, you still stay focused on what you are doing. That's fantastic.
Then later on we got this because I came to UAE twice. The first time was April. So later on we got this job with the Qatar Airways. They're hiring for cabin crew, and I was a size 4 at that time. Like I was it for the job. So when I left, they told me go. It was an open interview, so I had to leave. We went there and I was interviewed, and because normally with those airlines that are hiring from Dubai to their base, they'll just give you a ticket so that you could come the next day for a different interview. And one of the interviewers wanted to give me a ticket, the other one said no, don't give her a ticket. So that one closed for that day. So I came back home and I was looking for a job. I did not see a job. At the end of it all, I got into overstay. That's my first coming. I got into overstay and I got a job of which they said, okay, at that time in Dubai, you have to go and wait for your employment visa. So it was not like this thing now that they do within Dubai, they change. No, at that time you have to go and stay.
Must go out.
So I went out and they did not send me the employment visa. It was a sales job in a perfume company. They did not send me an employment visa, and I was just like, okay. So my mom and I, we had to put funds together, and I came back the second time. Before even coming the second time, what I did was I applied like 5 days before coming. And I applied through Jubilee. I just saw this guest service agent job, and I applied through Jubilee while I was still in my home country. And when I came back, just after 3 days, I'm not mistaken, I was called in for an interview, and I went there, and I had the job. And the job was not really it, but I just needed an experience. I needed to start from somewhere. So I took that job. It was 1,200 plus 100 dirham service charge, because it was a 4-star deluxe hotel. So I went there and I started working. It was hectic, not about the job, because the job was just to answer calls, allocate needs of guests to the housekeeping and to the restaurants or something like that. So it was not that bad, but the people I was working with, the management, my colleagues, they were just making it super hard for me. So, and at the end of it all, I got terminated from the job. Sorry. I got terminated from the job. It was when I got terminated, at first I was like frightened because I know having another job, like when you're not ready for it or something like that. At first I was frightened, but later on I was just like, this can be an opening for me to explore. You understand me? So, and I was introduced to one guy, Valerie, and he told me about real estate, and that's how I came to know about real estate. And I applied for this very prestigious real estate, my first time ever. And I went for the interview without any real estate background, even though my CV said I had from my home country, but without any real estate, due to the way I spoke during the interview. The manager, because I had to be on phone. It was a real estate job, but I had to constantly be on phone. And something that helped me so much in this country is my communication skills, because I have great communication skills. Trust me. If I really want to talk, I talk well. So my communication skill was it. It was lit actually. And he was like, okay, they hired me, and I was in that job. I was trying to make sales, because see, if you're in the real estate and you're trying to make sales and it's not coming and everybody around you is selling, it's just like you are not competent enough for the job. So fortunately for me, I got a sale, and because when I got the job with the real estate, it was salary and commission, because I did not have money, so I needed something that would sustain me. So I had to go in for salary and commission. So that's what happened. So I went in for salary and commission. Then later on, I had to leave the company. I left the company and I went to a different real estate company, which that's where my trouble started actually. Because when I got the job there, they said they were going to pay me a certain amount of money, and I did not really read my contract very well. So in the contract, there was a clause that states that they'll only pay me this salary if I make sales.
Thank you. That's what I hate.
Yeah, if I make sales. So, and I did not read it very well. So it was a drag. I was like, you told me, they said, open your contract. And both of us left our previous company and joined that company. But the other person did not have the clause, but I had the clause. Yeah, I had the clause. So, and I was like, it was a drag. It was a drag until the other person, my other colleague, had to intervene and they had to pay me. So they paid me, and that was it. And when they paid me and I could not make sales there, they had to say, oh, you have to leave, we'll not make a visa. And I got into overstay. During the time of overstay, I was looking for money. I do not have anything. I do not have money. I do not have anything. The money I made out of the sales of the real estate in my previous company, I said, okay, let me do some investment, let me save. And behold, it just went like it
money development.
Yeah, it was, yeah, it just, I don't know what I did with that money actually. It just disappeared in thin air. And I was in the UAE, overstay, and thank God, because the overstay was under the residence, because those people did me a residence visa, but I did not go for medicals for it to be converted and stamped into my passport.
Oh.
Yes. So with the employment visa they did, it got expired. So apparently the employment visa is like residence, so I had to be paying, is it 15 dirhams?
No, it's 25.
Yeah, 25 dirhams a day as overstay, and it was accumulating and accumulating. But I'm someone who is very resilient. I don't easily give up. If you see me give up for something, that means I don't try. If I give up on something, it means don't go that way. Yeah, because I was super resilient. I was still going for interviews. I did not even give up. I went for interviews day in until I had a very mega job. And I had that very mega job I had an overstay. When they asked me, it was a very big real estate developer, and it was to be on phone, like telesales executive. So when I went there, it was a 3-phase interview. The first phase, because you have to pass the first two, no, it was a 4-phase interview if I'm not mistaken. You had to pass the first 3 interviews. Then the last interview is with the sales director. She was a female. So I ate the first 3 interviews, and I went to the sales director, and she was like, I really want you in my team because you are excellent. So I had the job, and when they asked me for my visa, I said, I don't have visa. Like, seriously, I gave it to them. I said, I don't have visa. They said, you don't have visa, how? I said, they said, if you're overstay, we'll give you a visa, but you need to clear your overstay.
Yeah.
So go for visa change, come back, give us a new visa, and we'll convert. That's what they told me. So I was there with overstay for over, I don't know, is it 3,000 dirhams? Yeah, overstay with 3,000 dirhams. I have to do a new visa, and I have to clear my overstay.
And you didn't know you can go to court for that to be reduced?
I did not even know. I did not have any idea.
Oh no!
I did not have any idea.
Once you have that kind of massive overstaying, you go to court and say, well, it's because you didn't have job, and that is why it's like
with an
this.
employment letter.
Oh, I never knew. I did not even have.
Even if the employment letter is not there, they know that they are saying resident visa, right? They see it. They say in the court. Once you present it to them, they will now say, okay, out of these 3,000 or 2,000, pay 250.
No, sometimes 500. I have a friend with 11,000. She ended up paying 6,000 or 7,000.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I went now. I was like, where do I get money from for this visa change? Fortunately for me, a friend of mine sent me 1,500 dirhams from my home country, and I was still left with so much that I needed for this money to get completed so I could get a new visa. And I was like fumbling. I was asking people, can you borrow me? No one was ready to give me a hand. That's how it was. And I have this person, I'll just call him my father because that's how I describe him to be right now. Like my father reincarnated and came back. That man is my father, because the help he gave me, no one has ever given me that help. Because that man, as it is right now, has spent more than 10,000 dirhams on me. And the truth is, those who really help you are people you've never known. Those who really help you will never ask anything in return.
Yeah.
Because when I told him, like, I was like, this is it, I've gotten this job. This is the salary I've gotten. And I have overstay of this. We did the calculation. And he was like, don't worry, I'll send you money. He was on vacation in the UK and he sent me £800. The first £800 he sent through Western Union, it did not. I could not get it because my Emirates ID was not in the system and everything. So he had to send money again, £800 again through someone's account for me to get it. That's how I got money, and I went for visa change and I started working. And when I started working, immediately as I went for visa change, came and I started working. An airline company of which I went for interview. Like a year passed, like a year ago, right? And I passed the interview, and they sent me congratulations note. A year ago, called me because when that airline when you go for an interview with that airline and you pass the interview, what they do mostly is they'll send you a congratulations note, but they'll tell you not to resign unless they call you. So they called me after it was exactly after 1 year they called me. Wow. That February, I will not forget, was exactly 1 year. They called me. I've gone for interview 1 year ago. I passed the interview 1 year ago. You guys called me. Exactly. She called me. She said, I'm this from this airline. Are you still available to work? I said, yes. Because that was my dream job. That is where I really wanted to work. All this one I was just doing, it was just like, let me just be marking time so I'll get to where I really want to be. But that was my dream. That was it. So when I was like, yes, I'm ready. Said, but because when you have that congratulation note, they'll ask you to send your documents and everything. Yeah. So she said, from your documents I'm seeing, your passport is getting expired soon. And if you start working now, you will not have that time to renew the passport. So we'll oblige you to renew your passport first before getting employed. So I was like, okay, I'll renew the passport. So I was still in the job, the new job I've had, and problem just came from nowhere. See, sometimes you could have a job and you're really good at it, but Your manager, if your manager don't want you around there, you would be out within seconds.
Sure.
You'll be out within seconds, trust me. So that's what happened. I don't want to call it a coup, but I don't know what really happened. The manager wanted me out, and I left. Because even when I left, after years, that very employer searched me on LinkedIn. Yes, because when they terminated the manager and so much allegations and my name came up, because my termination was super unjust. You know when